Good evening, happy Phagwah to all Guyanese, especially our Hindu brothers and sisters. This is your Wednesday, March 23, 2016 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, there is an outbreak of mosquitoes in Region 6, Guyanese celebrate the Indian festival of Holi, and Guyanese producers urge to add value to products. These and other stories in this edition of the Government News Brief. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. Residents of Region 6 are affected by an outbreak of mosquitoes. However, the situation is being addressed. According to the Regional Health Officer, Jevon Stevens, the mosquitoes are not the disease-carrying types. Stephen, however, stated fogging will be done 5 days per week to get rid of the mosquitoes. A team from the Vector Control Services in Georgetown is assisting in the exercise.
We have 10 machines, 5 vehicles from this evening will be fogging all the problematic areas. Our aim is to ensure that over a period of time we touch the entire region so as to keep the mosquitoes down. While we're talking about mosquitoes, we don't want person to feel it's just a fogging. We want to ask or urge residents to ensure you clean your surroundings. Your drains are clean, your front and back drains are clean, you store your waters properly.
Distribution of medicated bed nets was also done. However, due to the lack of resources, all the areas could not have been covered.
We had 5,000 treated nets distributed across the region through the maternity unit here at the Amsterdam Hospital and was sent to the health centers across the region. We have 26 health centers in this region. So we sent to each health center because they will be the first person to interface with pregnant mothers. So we want from the time of knowing that you're pregnant and you go to the health center, you must be issued with this net.
Distribution of the nets is also being done in the Oriala-Siparuta communities. Region 6 is one of the regions where there has been one reported confirmed case of Zika. Since then, there has been no new case. The Regional Health Department continues to monitor for Zika and other vector-borne diseases. Residents of Canal Bank Region 1 were happy to have one of their needs fulfilled when a ministerial team visited their community. More in this report.
When Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman, visited Canal Bank recently, there was a request from the residents. It was for a boat and engine to transport the children to and from school. The current boat is too small to transport the over 70 students traveling every day.
I'm so happy to know that the children in our community here can learn and upgrade themselves. And one thing is that what I am looking at is that the transportation. They have a transportation here, but the transportation is very small. Some of the children have to pay a speedboat to come down, or the parents have to paddle them down, and the river is very dangerous. So what I'm asking for, if the government can assist us and give us a bigger boat, or in some way to help up the position.
It was a request that Minister Trotman was happy to oblige. He was accompanied by Minister within his ministry, Simone Brooms, and Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe.
We are committed to getting you a boat. But you have to help us to find the port who will build it. I'm going to send the boat. Okay? So you're going to discuss with me today the cost and what you need. So we're giving you all the power in the community. I'm not going to get a boat from some other region and bring it in here and hand it to you. I am committing to that.
The Tushao of the village was urged to identify someone from within the community to build a boat, prepare an estimate, and the funds will be provided to the village council. Meanwhile, support was also given to the community to seal off the windows at the health center. The community health worker explained that when it rains, the health center floods. A resident took the responsibility to immediately start the work. Minister Trotman also committed to providing sport gears to the residents so that the youths can utilize the recently constructed community ground. Renetta Lafleur, Government News Brief.
The Hindu festival of Phagwah, celebrated in Guyana, a multicultural nation, serves to bring all Guyanese together in joyous and spirited celebrations. It is a time to recognize the gains made by all our peoples and our country in moving Guyana forward toward a country where social cohesion is being forged stronger every day. The government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana extends Phagwah greetings to all Guyanese, particularly our Hindu brothers and sisters. The coalition government urges all Guyanese to seek spiritual inspiration on this holiday of reflection and togetherness, even as we recognize the primacy of the daily struggle for goodness to prevail within the collective human spirit. This will invariably lead to a society, a country, and a world which is kinder, safer, and more humane for all our brothers and sisters across social and cultural divides. The potential of student tourism will be utilized. Here are the details on how this will be done.
There are plans this year to maximize on student tourism. This is according to the Director General for the Department of Tourism, Donald Sinclair.
Later in the year, we are going to be having students from the state of Roraima in Brazil and UWI coming here to participate in a forum that will discuss the Amazon, that will discuss not just the Amazon, but specifically the Guyana's Shield.
The Guyana Shield is an area that consists of 6 countries. They are Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Guyana, French Guyana, and Suriname. The forum will discuss tourism development and open better communication in the process.
Then, of course, there is a spelling bee, which will take place between Guyana and Suriname. That is slated for June. Some students from Suriname are going to be coming here to challenge us in a spelling bee competition in English.
Sinclair acknowledges that a lot is at stake since Guyana is the only English-speaking country in South America. He also emphasized that student tourism market will play a significant role in advancing the tourism sector, as those students will have a taste of Guyana's cuisine, learn the history, see its architecture, and interact with Guyanese. It is hoped that they will advertise Guyana as a travel destination. Shanazalo with this government news brief.
Business Minister Dominic Gaskin says that developing industries to add value to Guyana's raw materials must become a national priority. Here is that story.
Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin is asking that Guyana moves away from exporting raw materials.
But we simply cannot satisfy ourselves with royalties and license fees and other fees collected from the extraction and exportation of our primary products. That will not fully exploit these resources. We need to add value to these raw materials.
Gaskin said that Guyana needs to develop capacity to turn raw material into consumer goods.
And I'd like to start hearing serious conversations about how we are going to do this. I'm throwing this out to our private sector. I know there are constraints, I know there are barriers, but let us identify them and let us start removing them and using value-added exports to place our economy on a more sustainable footing.
The minister's push is in keeping with what was said by President Granger at the launching of GuyExpo. The president had called for the private sector to see itself as an engine of growth, and in so doing explore other avenues to kickstart the economy. For this to happen, producers need to come up with innovative ideas to diversify the economy. Sheba Thomas for a government news brief.
The New Amsterdam Hospital continues to offer a wide range of services despite numerous challenges. Here is how this is done.
The New Amsterdam Hospital has been increasing the range of service it offers the public. However, while more services have been added, the staffing structure has remained unchanged for 2 decades. This is affecting the quality of care the hospital can provide.
One of our biggest factors seems to be staffing issue, because over the past years, what the trend has been showing is that we have been doing an increase in the number of delivery. For 2015, we have had 1777 delivery, and for 2014, my apologies, and 2015, we're now at 1905 or 38. Sorry, so that shows at least a 200 increase in the number of deliveries we're doing at our institution, and that has at least a 25% CS rate, which you're looking at 500 cesareans. Now that takes additional staffing, you're looking at additional resources, you needed MMU to be on time with their delivery, because we can't deliver unless we're given what we need to work with.
Many of the severe cases from neighboring as well as far communities are often brought to the hospital for treatment.
Of course, we have also been seeing all the referrals most of the referrals, Skelda and Might Be Curie, even the private doctors would send their patients over to us. So we're looking at more critical patients.
Meanwhile, because of the critical need, the hospital is preparing to offer even more services.
The New Amsterdam Hospital also is in the process of setting up systems to deal with critical care patients, in that we're building our separate age deal to specifically address that. Because if we're dealing with the cases coming from Fort Wellington, Mahika sometimes, then it means we're looking at the critical patients of the patients that we've been having.
Construction of a high dependency unit will begin in mid-April. The building will house 10 beds and will seek to increase the capacity to treat critical cases.
This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the Government News Brief along with all other GINA programs on our website. Please subscribe to our website and YouTube channel and like us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow, March 24, 2016 for another edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching and do enjoy the rest of your Phagwah Day celebrations with care and caution.